93 Boxing. I'm back with a quick video. Andrew Ward versus Sergey Kovalev prediction. Let's get into it. I try to make the video for the third time, but I keep having interruptions within my own home. But I'm gonna go straight into it. Andrew Ward has 12 rounds with Kovalev. Kovalev has 12 rounds with Ward, and I made a video before saying that Andrew Ward benefits more from the 12 rounds than Kovalev does, simply because Andrew Ward's a more adjustment-making fighter. He's the one that's making the adjustment as opposed to Kovalev. He's the one that's adjusting to Kovalev as opposed to the other way around. And I feel like an adjustment-making fighter, when he's going up against a non-adjustment-making fighter, I mean, everyone makes adjustments to a certain extent, but overall, Kovalev relatively doesn't make that much of an adjustment compared to Ward. In a rematch, in a fight like this, when they rematch, the one that's making the adjustment, even if he lost in the first fight, which I think he did, I had Kovalev winning, but it was a close fight. I feel like an adjustment-making fighter, when they rematch, because they are able to adapt to the person's style, and the people that doesn't make big adjustments, they don't really fight too much differently. In this situation, the person making the adjustment tends to win the rematch more convincingly. Or at least win the rematch if they haven't won the first fight. Andrew Ward was making an adjustment. He was getting the better of him in the second half of the Kovalev fight. The first fight, that is. Kovalev also, so that's the advantage to Andrew Ward. Another advantage to Andrew Ward is he seems mentally strong. He seems mentally confident. He seems like he's got this. And he's very confident about this, Andrew was confident at all times, but this guy seems more determined, almost determined and more confident than the first time. He really looks that way. I feel like mentally, the mental edge goes to Andrew Ward this time, because he feels like, I guess, he has a point to prove. He feels like, when you see this, I feel like he has got some animosity with Sergey Kovalev because of the racist shit, of all kinds of shit that Sergey Kovalev's been doing. Andrew Ward, I feel like those things also motivate him. He really seems like, I can't wait to get this done. Like, he really looks like that. And he seems in good spirits. He seems, as I said, confident and motivated. Sergey Kovalev, on the other hand, seems very agitated, is the right word, I think. I feel like he's agitated. And mentally, he seems like, well, it could work for him or it could work against him. Maybe, just maybe, Sergey Kovalev is using this as motivation. I don't know why he's so pissed off with Andrew Ward. Maybe he's pissed off about something with Andrew Ward. He's so pissed off that he can't wait to get in the ring and just destroy him. But in a focused manner as opposed to a reckless manner. Because sometimes when you're pissed off, you can be reckless. People can be reckless, right? Now, I don't know what he is pissed off about in the Andrew Ward fight. Robberies can happen at all times. In a close fight, I'm fairly sure he knows that, or he probably would imagine that Andrew Ward, when you're in an event like that, you don't notice the times that you get hit and he looks good, your opponent looks good. You notice the times that you look good, and therefore in a close fight, you always think that you win, or you won rather. So, and Sergey Kovalev's been like, oh, I can't stand him because of the disrespect and everything. But is that really why Sergey Kovalev hates Andrew Ward? I don't know, man. I feel like there's something else to why Sergey Kovalev hates Andrew Ward. And I think it's frustration and things like that. And for those reasons, I feel like it might work bad for him. Plus the rumors of Sergey Kovalev, the people saying that Sergey Kovalev can be frustrated, and he can, when he's not having his way, he can technically quit. When I say technically quit, that's probably something like maybe he might do some dirty shit and get disqualified or some shit. He seems that way. When Virgil Hunter said this a while ago, and we've never seen Sergey Kovalev like this. Looking at it, it's like, hey, maybe what Virgil Hunter and Andrew Ward saying is true. I think Virgil Hunter said it, but either way, it doesn't matter. I don't really plan some of my shit it's authentic what I say. So if people want me to revise what I'm saying before I say it, I mean, no, because that shit is just boring. It comes across as fake, and yeah, this is the authentic shit, the live shit, the 93 boxing shit. Look, Sergey Kovalev, in my opinion, seems frustrated. He may actually turn around that anger and turn it into a positive energy where he's so determined and focused to carry out the game plan the right way, to jab in his way, and then everything like that. But to me, it just seems frustrated, and all the rumors and stuff that have him that if he gets frustrated, he can quit. He can, indicating to me that he probably, like as I said, do stuff that's illegal, just out of frustration. And he's probably frustrated that he's getting treated by a black man like this. When he pointed the finger in the press conference, deep in my head, I think in his head he was wanting to say the N-word. N-word this, N-word that, right? But the thing is, overall to me, he looks frustrated. And so that's an advantage to Andre Ward again. Andre Ward apparently had like a tear in his knee, I believe. Apparently there's a lot of hiccups in his camp at the time. There was a tear in his knee. I mean, maybe. He wasn't as sharp as he was overall in his career. But at the same time, how sharp he was, I wasn't like surprised, because in his recent fights before the Kovalev fight, he didn't look super sharp either. He was getting hit. And Andre was saying he'll be sharper in this fight. Andre could be just like feeling better with his body, and also, because personally, here's the thing, the way I see it, right? Looking at the mindset of these fighters, Kovalev looks frustrated and everything. I feel like Andre will win the fight, looking at that. But when it comes to the technical aspects, it's very hard to see how Andre Ward's going to win the fight. Right? My brain's telling me Andre Ward in certain ways, but also my gut's telling me, I don't know, man. I don't know if my gut or my brain's telling me this, but mindset-wise, Andre Ward has the upper edge. But when it comes to technical skills, an outside fighter is better than the inside fighter normally. A lot of times, that's how I see it, because to get to the outside, especially with one with good footwork, an outside fighter with good footwork, right? Because an outside fighter with good footwork, they can adjust distance and get away nicely, very smoothly. Like Kovalev, it's very hard for his opponent to get to the inside, because on the outside he's got a great offense, a great jab. It's very hard for Andre Ward to get in. He's not fast like Kovalev. He's not. Kovalev's physically more talented. He punches harder. He's faster. He has a better jab. He has better footwork. Right. I just feel like I feel like saying that Andre Ward will win, but I really don't know how. Like in terms of, I guess making him more tired, more frustrated, holding, grabbing, but then punching him as well on the inside, hopping in with a hook, body shots, taking away certain opponents, certain aspects maybe. Jabbing more. I guess jabbing to the body, jabbing to the head, jabbing more. So I feel like that's what's gonna get Andre Ward the win. But yeah, Kovalev can come out, as I said, he says he overtrained, right? He could come out in better condition. Right? He could come out in better condition. So we don't know. And if he comes out in better condition, that will benefit Kovalev significantly, because partly the reason why Kovalev, Ward was winning a lot of those rounds is because Kovalev was getting tired through Ward's body shots. But that's what I'm saying. Like, if Kovalev doesn't get tired, it's very hard for Ward to win. But, no one's invincible. And no matter how much you train for it, I guess you're probably going to get tired, because it's a mental aspect as well. You're there in front of thousands of people. It's a lot hard to take it in. You know what? I think I'm going to lean towards Ward. I feel like Andre Ward will win. I mean, even though Sergey Kovalev had all that advantage in the first fight, the only thing Sergey Kovalev could do better is just jab more, set up the punches more. But for that, he has to be more conditioned. And He can be more conditioned. That could be enough to win the Andre Ward fight. This is a hard picking fight. And I think it'll be a competitive fight. That'll be close, but whoever wins this time will be more convincing, I think. If Kovalev doesn't get rid of Andre Ward within 5 rounds, it'll be very hard for him to get a decision because Andre Ward probably adjusts to Kovalev a lot quicker than in this fight. With all the advantages that Kovalev had in the first fight, whether he won or not, I feel like he won, but it was still a close fight. And Kovalev, pretty much the fact that it was a very close fight, right? And he's not an adjustment-making fighter, and Andre Ward is an adjustment-making fighter. It shows that in the second fight, Andre Ward's going to have the more significant advantage, as I just mentioned, as I just explained, right? I feel for that reason, Andre Ward's going to take it. Because the first fight was close, and the first fight, Andre Ward didn't have as many advantages as he does going into the second fight, right? As I said, he's more used to Kovalev, he's more used to the weight, he's more probably more confident in taking Kovalev's shots. He's going in there more confident. Sergey Kovalev seems more frustrated. He could have some advantage compared to the first fight going into the second fight, going into the rematch. But I feel like Andre Ward has more of an advantage in this rematch than he did in the first fight. And in the rematch, it was pretty much nearly a draw. The fact that he has more advantage now, I feel like the Andre Ward has more advantage. And the fact that last time it was pretty much nearly a draw, either way, would mean that this time Andre Ward will win. He will edge it out. I feel like Andre Ward will win a more convincing 7-5 or an 8-4. But I will not be surprised. They can go either way. They're both talented fighters. Let me know what you think. 93 Boxing, and I'm out.